Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it up for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about the importance of getting plastics out of your life because they affect your weight loss endeavors, but they also affect your overall health. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my 2 books which help you with your weight loss, and my podcast, particularly The Awakened Man, but also if you like movies, I have one on movies called The Cinema Rag. And lastly, if you appreciate my content, there's a link for PayPal. So we've talked about in early episodes, and definitely I'll try to remember to put them in the banner notes here, on how to purge your refrigerator, what to take out of it that is jeopardizing your weight loss and weight management, and what to put in it. Same, we have another one for the pantry as well. And we have early podcasts at The Awakened Man going back to 2017, where I really fleshed these out. And I have some articles at the website, eclecticogregorio.com. I'll put a link in the episode notes. That's the website that has a lot of recipes as well. But plastics is something that's really important to take up because plastics are hormone disruptors. They are hormone disruptors and they can affect your weight loss and your weight management. But more importantly, they affect your overall systematic health. And I think most people are aware of the dangers of plastics. Of course, there's people that are more aware of the environmental effects of it, and that's not really here nor there. And look, if you want to recycle, that's great. But I think people, like, sometimes we worry too much about the dog and the spotted owl and not enough about humans. This is one of those things where, yeah, okay, throw away your plastics in the proper place, but let's focus on the human body. And plastics, of course, on one level revolutionary at the time. I think of like IV bags. They used to be in glass. And so when plastics came about really in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it really did help mankind quite a bit in terms of transportation and carrying things. But it came with an effect. It came with some casualties, with some pernicious effects to our health. And a lot of this was kind of kept on the down low for quite some time. But really in the last 20 years, it's kind of become more in the woke and the knowledge. I think a lot of this you really can attribute to consumer watchdog groups like the Environmental Working Group and others who've brought a lot of this to the attention. But plastics are bad for our health. I think most people know about BPA, bisphenol A, things being BPA free. Let me tell you, just throw out all your plastics, because when they say something is bisphenol A free, it doesn't mean that they're obviously plastic free because you're still looking at something plastic. But the plastic that they switch with, like bisphenol S or another sister chemical, is just as pernicious to your health as others. So they're not lying to you. They're like, we're BPA free, but you know what? We're bringing in BPSS or Trident or one of these other plastics. So it's just as bad. So you're like, well, Gregory, how do I have a world, or how do I live a life without plastics? Well, obviously there's going to be some things you can't control. When you buy a bag of chips, they're going to come in plastics. Now, items that come in plastics are not as problematic as fluids that come in plastics. So you buy your bag of chips if you want, but when it comes to bottled water, you shouldn't even be drinking bottled water. We have early episodes on the holistic at the Awakened Man, when it was Holistic Health News, about how bottled water is actually dirtier than tap water. Half of the bottled water supplies in America come from municipal water. And again, like what great PR campaign that they had to convince people to pay for something that's essentially already free, right? But either way, you don't get bottled water. You shouldn't even be drinking sodas as well. Throw all those out. I don't drink anything that comes in plastics. But again, I wouldn't say I'm unique, but I'm different, that I drink tea and water and on occasion milk that comes in the cardboard containers, and sometimes kombucha, and that's it. So when I tell you, and we have episodes here, purge all your sodas out of your life, it's hard because some of you are addicted to them. Try to wean yourself off of these things. But soups, they come in cans, are in line with bisphenol A, the inner lining is, so you have to worry about that. And just anything that's liquid involved, stay away from them. I like green juices, and I used to make my own until my juicer broke, but there's places where you can go that sell juices, but most of these juices are coming in plastics, right? And they're swimming in plastics for weeks. So all of that plastic is leached into the fluid. When you drink the fluid, you're drinking the plasticizer and leading to the problems that we talk about. And so the best thing to do is glass. Look, I don't have any plastics in my house because you don't need to. Think about like containers. Ceramic, porcelain, all these things you can put in an oven, you can put in a microwave. Microwaves are a separate episode here, but you can warm them up that way. Same for glass containers. So if you have glass and porcelain, among other things like stoneware, you don't need plastics. The mindset of, I got to open this can of peas, put them in Tupperware, put it in the microwave. It's like, no, it's like 3 bad things you're doing there because of the BPA in the cans, plus the plastic, and plastic accelerates its leaching when you warm it up. So now you're warming it up in a microwave. It's like, no. So it is possible to get rid of plastics in your daily life, in your house, especially in your kitchen. It is possible. The other places where you get BPA is going to be receipts, the laser receipts. So again, how often do you need them? If you need to keep a receipt, honestly, just touch it from the corners. I've told people at the grocery store who work there, I'm like, you should really be wearing gloves. And of course they look at me like I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. Canned goods, you can buy them BPA free. I would tell you as a whole, canned goods are great for storage if you're a prepper, which I think it's important. So if you're prepping, at that point, just buy the cheapest canned goods you have, because if something bad happens in the world at that point, you're not going to be too focused on your health. But if you have money and money's not an issue, most things that come canned, you can get in cardboard containers or wooden containers that don't have plastics in them at all, and or other containers that you can do. So you can maneuver around that. Other places that BPA would be CDs, but most people aren't touching CDs anymore. And then, as I mentioned, canned goods and laser receipts, and then all the plastics. So are there plastics that are worse than others? Certainly. If you look at a plastic container, there's 1 through 7. 7 is very bad. Also, remember that most of our water comes in PVC pipes. That's the thing you can't control. What you can control vis-a-vis water is don't buy bottled water, and definitely get a filter and get a fluoride filter. So most of the filtration systems that you can get don't filter out fluoride. You need fluoride filtered out of your water supply. You can buy these on Amazon. And in fact, the number one place we actually get fluoride in our body is in the showers, because we inhale the fluoride. And if you don't know about the dangers of fluoride, I highly recommend you check out over at my podcast, The Awakened Man. I did a 2-part series way back in 2017 about the history of how fluoride got into our water supply, the collusion between Carnegie Mellon University, the American Dental Association, and Alcoa, the aluminum maker, because fluoride was a byproduct of aluminum smelting back in the 1930s. And then the other episode is about the actual health effects of what fluoride does to your body. So get these out of your life. Just take a look at your kitchen. Take a look at what's in there, and you can do this. It is possible. Now, for some of you who really love juices and sodas and teas, yes, it's going to be harder for you to do that. So maybe the first step is to wean yourself off of these things, and then you can definitely get to the plastic parts. But there's no reason why you can't throw out plastic containers right now, Tupperware, because there's alternatives that are easy to find and easy to purchase, and then you can at least make that your first step on the road to getting plastics out of your life completely. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.